Rosa, those gloves are, that's going to get me all day. Wow. Hi. I'm gonna, you guys, she looks adorable. If you're still getting food, please stay in line, and if you're not getting a drink, you probably should. I am very excited. This seems loud. Is this real loud to everybody? All right, okay. I'm very excited to be here with all of you. I'm never nervous at these things, but boy, you coming out in bulk, it's kind of, it's a little unnerving. So I'm going to start, as we always do, by reading the land acknowledgement. Colorado State University acknowledges, with respect, that the land we are on today is the traditional and ancestral homelands of the Arapaho, Cheyenne, and Ute nations and peoples. This was also a site of trade, gathering, and healing for numerous other native tribes. We recognize the indigenous peoples as original stewards of this land and all the relatives within it. As these words of acknowledgement are spoken and heard, the ties nations have to their traditional homelands are renewed and reaffirmed. CSU was founded as a land-grant institution, and we accept that our mission must encompass access to education and inclusion. And significantly, that our founding came at dire cost to Native nations and peoples whose land this university was built upon. This acknowledgement is the education and inclusion we must practice in recognizing our institutional history, responsibility, and commitment. I always find this a really rough transition, so take a moment there. So again, welcome to the Spring All-College Meeting and Awards Ceremony. I am slightly shocked that we have reached the end of my first academic year as dean. I don't know if you're clapping for the end or the beginning, but I'm gonna go ahead and read that positively. I've had a lot of opportunities to reflect in these tumultuous times that we find ourselves in. It genuinely seems 1 million years ago that we had a fall all-college meeting. Time, as you all know, has sort of changed its relationship with everything, so there's that. And I was thinking that how few of you I knew when I was here with you all in the fall. And there's still quite a few of you that I haven't had enough time to get to know, but it is incredible. It's really incredible to me, the amount of connection that we've built over the last few months, and for the many of you who I've had a chance to read your work and go to your performances, to laugh with you, a few of you to get yelled at by you, I appreciate you, and to wrestle with some really hard challenges. So I have a few opening remarks, and I really struggled with what I wanted to do with this time, and I'm not sure if I've got it right or not, but I want to say a few things just before we get started. And in particular because, as I've written to you before in email, I'm kind of a weird nerd for joy, and this is a absolutely joyous occasion, right down to the wine and et cetera. But I don't want to pretend that this is a time of a joyous occasion in normal times. And I've had occasion to say a couple of times in these past few weeks to a few of you that I've experienced, and I know so many of you have experienced this semester as something like a treadmill for resilience. I have a slide for that. I'm walking a fine line here, people, so let's see how this goes. And I was thinking about this idea of a treadmill for resilience and what it feels like to have these weird muscles worked. I mean, I'm sure some of you work those muscles all the time. I mean, the actual physical ones, not the brain ones, but some of us who exercise perhaps less than we ought to have that discomfort of what it feels like to work a set of muscles. And I've been thinking so much about how it feels in different ways to all of you and to me as well, to really have, over the last few months, so much uncertainty and so many surprises, not all that many of which have been good. And I've been thinking a lot, therefore, about resilience. And I know there are families present, so I want to let you know in advance that there is a dirty word on the next slide that I've censored with a block, but I'm going to invite those of you who are adults in the room to interpret it correctly. And those of you who are not adults, you do you. I was thinking about resilience. I know I'm going to say something really profound here, and you're all looking for the swear word on the slide. So I also realize I've screwed up this moment as well. This is a paper from my own field. None of you wrote this. Usually I like to talk about things that you did. This is a paper from my own field a few years back that was written by some people I know and some people I don't in the sort of mid-wake of the pandemic, right? And I think there's a lot of ways in which I've heard some of you sort of curate similarities to our current era. And they write in this paper that crises, whether society-wide or personal, are endemic to the human condition. And one of the outcomes of how we talk about crises today is that we expect people to be resilient. We celebrate resilience. But of course, we also have to acknowledge that the precarity of crises systematically falls harder on some people than on others, and that we make a mistake when we think that individuals are somehow well designed to be resilient all by themselves, and thus the individual resilience. The paper calls for shifting away from, quote, individual approaches to resilience, instead building organizational and community resilience in academia. And I've been thinking so much about that over these past few months, and there's critical and hard things to think about that because there's a lot of work for us to do as institutions, as this college, but also the ways in which I've come to see that a strength of this college is in the multiple layers of community. And those communities and those networks and their overlaps and seeing them and observing them and learning about them has absolutely been the best part of this job for me for the last few months. And in a weird way, I have a vista kind of like this one because I go to a whole bunch of different stuff, orchestra concerts and your talks and receptions and readings and plays and, capstone student-y things and rambunctious faculty council meetings and university budget activities. And you may not see this, but I see you all showing up for each other in those places and spaces. And, even just now, I'm sorry, Samuel, I'm going to call you out. Samuel and Michaela, wait, where are you? How do you know each other? Woohoo, right? So there's these bizarre moments that we produce in the ways that we encounter one another that have become really core to this college. And I see that as something that's helping us to get through this time because this is a college that cares deeply about structures of support and about advocating to make them stronger. Your voices are incredibly strong, and I'm so glad that we get to hear them in so many venues. And also that we don't have to face what we're facing alone. And that's been such an incredible leadership lesson for me, especially these past few months. We don't do anything by ourselves. And we have, I think, probably the most incredible set of people in this place, like physically and metaphorically, to deal with what has come to us and what is still to come. Also, this paper was kind of controversial. You should go read it. It's kind of cool. So recently, on one occasion of talking about this treadmill of resilience, I was reminded by one of our colleagues of our own Erica Osborne's work. And Erica's not here because she has class, but I told her I was going to do this, so I'm going to talk about her even though she's not here. If you don't know Erica, she's a painter of this sort of award-winning, Fulbright-receiving, fancy kind. And one of the topics that she tackles in her work is resilience, particularly through, this looks like a picture, right? Yeah, it's not, it's painting. Particularly through explorations of life and regeneration in the wake of wildfires and how woodlands change and heal in the aftermath of destruction. And so this image is from her recent exhibition in Denver titled, this is such a good title, The Love Language of Fire. Right? I mean, come on, people. How do we come up with this stuff? I mean, her, not me, obviously. And I've really taken heart in sort of staring at this work. I mean, you all know this is not my expertise. Staring at art is about as much as I know about it. And I have found it really inspiring and continuing to think about the possibilities of resilience and healing. And of course, as I have said to you, many of you, and many times, the possibilities of continued moments of joy, not only like the pleasure, fun kind of joy, but joy as acts of resistance. And that I have determined, at least for myself, and you don't all have to agree with me, that there is joy in us moving forward, even when we're doing so at this time of really challenging uncertainty, and in some cases grief and pain and sorrow and in the context of injustice. And the act of moving forward in all the little and big ways, and I'm going to talk about a few of them, all the little and big ways that we're moving forward, is not only a form of joy, but it's a really important task for us to set ourselves to. Not because we're ignoring what's happening in the world, but because collectively we get to decide to refuse to believe that it has to be this way, or that it will always be this way. That is the end of the sad part of what I'm going to say. And before we get to our joyous awards, I want to talk a little tiny bit about moving forward. Because, and this is so surreal, maybe it's not for you all, but it is for me. It seems on the one hand that all time and no time has gone by in the last few months. I'm sure you've experienced the week as year and the day as minute and hour. And yet, we are doing incredible things, even in this bizarre time. When I was here before, and in the many venues in which I've had a chance to yak at you about all sorts of things, I talked about these 3 strategic priorities and articulated our college as already in many ways, but also aspirationally, to be the heart and the hub of this university, of this state, and for many of our places and spaces to have an influence on the world far beyond. We have moved in incredible ways, I'm still super surprised by it, toward these priorities, toward thinking about ways and acting on ways to elevate our research and creative work, toward thinking about what does it mean to engage in student success and healthy growth, and really, in some cases, think very differently about student experience and how we can support our students in new ways. And of course, to tackle challenges and opportunities related to climate and culture in the college. And when I came here in the fall, I said we need to get even better at asking and answering this question of what do our arts and humanities and social sciences, our research and our practice and our creative works, our teaching and service bring to the university and to the community and to the world that no other fields and no other place can bring. And I feel that we have moved so much closer to answering that question, in part because of your generosity in sharing your work with me and sharing your work with others in ways that I'll talk about in a moment. Also, when we were here in the fall, I showed you these sort of aspirational boldness where we could be little statements about each of these areas. And so while you're staring at this slide and reminding yourself of the last time I talked about it, I just want to give you a few quick little updates of some of the things that are happening. Some of the things you've probably heard lots about, or some of you have heard lots about. Some are things that you're going to hear more about in the months to come. And I want to say that I've really wrestled with the extent, there's a world we would be living in if what's happened in the world hadn't happened. And so sometimes we have to live in that world. But for me, finding a way to talk with you about these good, wonderful things that you all are doing, it's complex. So a few things. First of all, thinking about elevating our research and creative excellence. I charged Alyssa, hello, thank you so much, who put together a really incredible task force on sort of research excellence. And they delivered a report to me early this year. And I can tell you that it's incredible. There will be lots of opportunities for you to talk about what's in there. And what that committee did is sort of think through what are the obstacles and opportunities that we have to engage together in elevating our research and creative work. What you'll see over the sort of fall and spring to come are opportunities for us to be in conversation about where do we want to start. There's a lot of things that we could do. Where do we want to put our energy? We had our second annual Democracy Summit this year. Thank you to the many, many of you who participated in that, helping organize it. It was an incredible success. I feel like at almost all those events, we found ourselves going out to the hallway to find more chairs, I'm a very simplistic soul in many ways, which felt like a success to me. Also, you all submitted these incredible proposals to the Vice President for Research Office for the Democracy Initiative funding, and 9 of the funded projects came to us. I think 9 of 11, right? 9 of 11, which is, I won't do the math for you, almost all of them. Actually, just did the math for you. We are also thinking quite concretely about those of you who are writing books, and thank you for the 80-some of you who filled out a survey that we sent out a few months ago, who told us that you're working on a book in some way, shape, or form. 60 of you just like a lot, told us that you're writing a book and would be eager to have support from the college. So thanks to Anne and to Alyssa, we're putting together a whole bunch of ways in which we can support book writing. It's a really unique practice that emerges from our college in ways that it doesn't at CSU. So how do we support that good work? I want to thank the many of you who came to workshops hosted by our Center for Science Communication. Thank you to Ashley and to Jamie for hosting those, to share and brainstorm about how to talk about the way our work matters. Those of you who have been paying attention to various media coverage of what's happening, I think you'll see that our colleagues in the natural sciences across the country have been starting to do a really good job of telling the stories about why their work matters, why it matters that we have funding for this kind of work, why it matters that this work is able to move forward. And we have some catching up to do, not just us, but our disciplines in general. And I'm really, really excited to hear some of the work that's coming from that and to have a chance to brainstorm with many of you. How do we tell those stories powerfully, especially in Colorado, where so much of our work has such an impact? I want to say congratulations to the Institute for Research in Social Sciences, which you may know as IRIS. You all know Jenny Cross, and if you do, you know that Jenny is a force of nature and decided for reasons that are inexplicable to me to leave us in the middle of this year. And yet, the wonderful team at IRIS has really done an extraordinary job of forward thinking. And IRIS received a substantial amount of funding for the Vice President for Research Office as a core center in this university. And that's a real point of pride for us. That's an incredible work that was done to help this entire university understand the value of that research moving forward. And then, y'all winning awards. We're going to talk a lot about that, so I won't mention those now. Student success and healthy growth. I think we probably made the most progress in this space, interestingly enough. I charged Ellie Light, where are you, Ellie? Hey, Ellie, who has put together an amazing, how many of you are on one of these task force committees? The research one or the stand up for a second? No, I don't want to. Please, stand up for a second. If you're on the research task force or the healthy growth one. Oh, you guys are awesome. Good. I see some of you who did not stand up despite my recognition of you, so I appreciate you as well. There's lists in my head. You're going on them. It's cool. So I want to thank everyone who served on these committees. And this task force also produced this really incredible report. It's quite remarkable, that did a really tremendous analysis, both at the college level and the department level, of what gets in the way of our students succeeding, what gets in the way of us succeeding in recruitment, what gets in the way of us finding new pathways to retain our incredible students. And these are things that have always mattered. They're core to our mission, but they matter in sort of fresh, concentrating ways as this university starts to get ready to move into a new budget model where many of the core strengths of our college will be financially rewarded, and that's a different situation. So, recruitment. I was nervous this fall. We had fewer applications to our college than we did last year. So therefore, we admitted fewer people. I will also not do the math for you on that one. But we are on track to expect a bigger class than last year, which is incredible. And that's the work that you all are doing. Special thanks to Kristen Mullen, but also to all the faculty and staff who've been showing up for Choose events, for recruitment events, taking students on tours, responding to emails, against your wishes, experimenting with text campaigns, and all of the wild ideas that are coming out of the dean's office. I want to thank all the communicators, all the chairs who've really leaned into this work. And you remember in the fall, that Kevin was here. He's the relatively new VP for Enrollment Engagement. And he talked to us about our recruitment. And I talked to him last week, and he was like, wow, you guys turned the ship around. And if I'm honest with you, we only medium tried. Really, we're a big machine, and we're not super good at doing all the things that we need to do and coordinating and getting on the same page. There is so much potential. And for us to really be counter to the national trends in the liberal arts is a pretty remarkable thing. So I just want to say thank you to all of you and congratulations. I'm purely anecdotally, these Choose events that we have every-ish other Saturday in the spring, these parents and students are incredibly energized to come and to take your classes. In particular, Kristen runs a panel of our CLA ambassadors. And they sit there, I wish you all could come, they sit there and they talk about how great your classes are. And they talk about these magical moments that they have in your classes. And it's pretty spectacular to see. And it it works. The students are coming here. So congratulations. We also have Carol Irwin. Carol, where are you? Heyo. Carol has a slight job title change. We have added new student experience to her title, and that's because she is creating a new strategy to help students come into our college. You'll hear a lot more about that over sort of into the fall and have opportunities to participate. But what this work is doing is picking up on the recruitment piece of it and saying, how do we ensure that students who are coming into CLA have the kind of experience that allows them to be retained over time? So thank you to Carol and to all the ASCs who are working in those spaces. Coming also this fall, we've been talking with a lot of you about growth and what does it mean to be entrepreneurial. And I think one of the things that I'm most excited about over the months to come is what do we want to build together? What do we want to do next? Where are there exciting spaces between our disciplines where we can build new curriculum, where we can build new programs that take us out into the community in different ways, where we can be in Colorado in ways that are beyond perhaps what we even imagined. The infrastructure to do that work is there, and we're starting to build it in our college. We're going to have extraordinary opportunities. And I will also say, I can't share the details, but I'm going to tell you this. Our budget looks better than we thought. More to come. I know, right? Okay, more to come. Okay. So the final priority, I think, is the hardest one for us to move forward, especially in this climate, especially with budget cuts, especially with, there's just a lot of stuff that's kind of hard sometimes in this university. The budget pressure has created a layer of uncertainty, especially for our CCA colleagues over the last few months that shouldn't be the case. And it makes it very difficult for us to try to move these priorities forward. And yet, like a bunch of suckers, we're doing it anyway. We are making real progress, and we are on track toward our goal that we talked about in the fall of building an honored and recognized teaching professoriate by making use more systematically of the teaching professor track. I'm excited about what that means. I am deeply invested in this faculty, in our CCA faculty and in our tenure stream faculty. This is the most incredible faculty I've ever worked with, and I think our capacity to have an honored teaching professoriate recognized as such in their job title is an incredible next step. Thank you to the many of you who provided input on that process, and to Ryan, who's done pretty much all the work. Thank you very much. The other point of moving forward that I think we're seeing, and you're going to see a bit more in the fall, is that I think we're doing a really good job of creating space for dialogue in the college. Thanks to the graciousness of your faculty council rep, I've met with them every month this entire year, and they've also been caucusing together. And I think that's really powerful. CLA has always had a voice in this university, and it's something that to treasure and to nurture, and to invite new voices into that space, because we are a really big, complex machine, and our interests are not always exactly the same. We will be moving over the next few months. I promise not to invite you in the summer, but to create a budget advisory council. I've heard from a lot of you that you're eager to understand the budget a lot more deeply and transparently, and I think that's really important to us being entrepreneurial as well. So I'd like to apologize in advance to those of you I asked to be on that advisory committee. But it's going to be fun anyway. And I think it's really important as we move into the budget model redesign. So I'm going to finish my opening remarks with one more of Erica's images. Isn't this incredible? And I want to remind us again, before we get into the fun part of awarding awards, that what we've been feeling this semester, I think you're feeling with me, the experience of uncertainties and injustices, that this is not our story. This is not where our story ends. And there's a lot of good and a lot of forward motion happening even in this difficult time. And I'm excited to move that forward with you, so thank you for that. Okay, now the good stuff. You ready? Rosa's got her gloves. I can't look at you. If she starts miming in the background, like somebody give me a heads up so that I... Don't let her out of the box, it's all good. Okay, so we have regular awards that you know you won. We also have some surprise awards, the origin story of which, is so so painfully stupid that I'm going to tell it to you anyway. During the pandemic, you may remember the pandemic, I was not here, but I'm sure we were all in the same place. I acquired this really awful habit on Zoom calls of thumbs-upping, and I cannot stop doing it. Like, serious Teams meetings of great import, and I'm all, it's a real issue. And so, Stephanie, where are you? Hey, okay. You all know that Stephanie puts this whole thing together in a really epic way. We're gonna thank her later, but so Stephanie, I mean, a lot of people have to put up with me, but Stephanie puts up with me in, I think, a special way. I expressed my interest in having my own awards. I mean, damn it. And, you know, she, for some reason, encouraged me. And, some of you don't spend a lot of time in the dean's office, but there's sort of an ongoing comedy riff that we enjoy in a lot of different ways. And I don't know who suggested the thumb, probably you, because it seems like a terrible idea that I would probably have had as well. And so we decided to create these Thumbs Up Awards. And we intended the Thumbs Up Awards to actually be my thumb. We intended it so hard that this is an image from a photo shoot of my hand. It seems like we're doing important work, but actually we're just like taking pictures of my hands. And we have intentions to 3D print. There's like a whole thing, right? And like Stephanie's made phone call, like we're trying to make this thing happen. It doesn't happen. So the thumbs that you will receive, which I'm not supposed to touch because of the gloved hand, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I don't want the glove. The glove is I can't take the glove. This kind of is a man's thumb, and there's a lot to make fun of this thumb as well. But I hope those of you receiving or seeing the reception of a Thumbs Up Award will appreciate the deep and loving comedy behind the entire operation. Okay. The serious point of these awards is that, awards and these recognitions are a chance to say, like, we see you, we see the work that you're doing. Also, and unfortunately, awards are kind of a pain because you have to fill out the giant application and you do the thing, and then there's a committee, thank you all you've served. And I wanted a chance just to say, as I move through space and time, I see you. And I wanted a chance to say that to a few people. So I also insisted, even though Stephanie was like, how about we just have people come up in orderly fashion? I insisted on interspersing my awards throughout the entire presentation, creating opportunities for things to go wrong. Sorry about that. So I'm gonna give the first couple, and then I'm gonna hand it over to Ryan for a bit of business. All right, so Diane, wherever you are, make your way up. I'm going to talk about you for a minute. So you come up and stand here looking awkward while I'm talking about you. This is the perfect example. So Diane was emailed to say that she'd won an award, and what does she write back? You must be mistaken. There's no mistake. So in addition to being a historian of early modern Europe, Diane is chair of the CLA Curriculum Committee and the college's representative to the University Curriculum Committee. And in my tour of committees and processes in the college this year, I know you all want this job, I had the chance to spend some time with that committee watching Diane at work. And you are so good. Just this academic year alone, Diane and that committee have shepherded 153 items through KIM, 121 new courses, 26 program approvals, 2 deactivations. You guys, let's stop doing something, but okay, whatever. And some random other stuff, I don't even know what that is. And she does so with brilliance, with deep expertise, with grace, and with humor. And I want you all to know and observe that Diane has oversight of the very core of our mission. We just couldn't do anything that we do without that work, and it's really hard work. We're getting to the end, so. I'm a tiny bit worried that these are going to make me cry. Thank you very much. Congratulations on receiving the first random award of a thumb that anyone has ever gotten. Okay, I'm going to give it one more, and then there's more to come later on. All right, these next two, and one of you is not present, but these next two really come from my opportunities to get to meet with faculty council and to be in dialogue. And I think one of the things that's very important for us all to talk about all the time is we do not need to agree in this place. We get to disagree all day long. We can disagree in style, we can disagree in substance, and that the strength of this place is that through disagreeing and finding ways to disagree, we find glorious solutions. And so I am really proud of the voice that CLA has in this college, even though sometimes it gets a little awkward. Let's all be honest about it. And so I want to give my hugest of congratulations to Mary and to Antonio. I think Mary can't be here. I know you are not all in these rooms and these spaces, but it matters. It matters our voices, and it matters that our voices grow, and it matters that people are brave and willing to speak out. And I hope you all learn from that, good and bad, and you can watch us agree and disagree in rooms big and rooms small and still have a beer afterwards. And so thank you. Thank you. Okay. Oh, Ryan, I'm so sorry. I feel like this is like a kind of a vibe killer, but whatever. All right, now we're going to take a brief interlude from our awards for some all-college business, which also happens at these events. So I'm going to hand it over to our Senior Associate Dean. And it's weird to have business at an awards ceremony. Maybe we'll change that next year, but I'm going to leave it for now. I do want to remind you all that a lot of the vision behind the culture and climate work that we're doing is Ryan's. And as I've already mentioned, a whole lot of the work behind it is Ryan's. And so the vote that he'll be asking you to take today is closely related to the work around the teaching professoriate. So as he comes up and does the business piece of today, join me in thanking him for these extraordinary efforts.
I'm just looking at my script and determining that some of the initial language is totally pointless. You all received a couple of weeks ago via the all college faculty and staff listserv some proposed changes to our CLA college code language, which I think, no, okay. Is on your tables in both the old form and the new form. You received a track changes version of it in your email as well. That language sets out to accomplish 3 tasks, primarily in relationship to the CCAF professor series. 1, to revise terminal degree requirements to align more closely with the language in the faculty manual. Our college code simply says terminal degree, but the language for tenurability actually has some provisions for professional and field experience equivalents left to departments to vote, and this leaves that open. 2, to change expectations around the possible inclusion of research in CCAF professor series ranks. And 3, in fact, which was already happening in some appointments. And 3, to remove some unclear language on the link between contract appointments and administrative assignments, which was in fact often being taken as the opposite of what is written. May I have a motion to adopt the proposed changes to the CLA faculty manual appendices?
I so move.
Thank you. And a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Yep.
Ryan, this is from our Children's History. I have a question about ramifications of the professorial series being created. Has the college explored how that's going to look with regard to the tenure track faculty and the fact that we are actually working right now with a zero-sum game against classes and budgets? What exploration has been done by the college on the impact of the creation of the professorial series against the tenure track faculty? And you and I exchanged some emails about this, so perhaps you can offer some of that language as well.
Yep, and that's fine, and I'll repeat a couple things I said to you. First of all, it's important to know that this is not the creation of a series. We already have 22 track CCAF across the college in a variety of appointments, and that this doesn't currently change the number of our CCAF in any particular way. This is not a hiring practice. This is a title change, and what it actually does is finds ways to acknowledge the research that some folks have already been doing, create some opportunities for folks to turn a lot of the scholarship of teaching and learning that's been happening in very robust ways among our CCAF into part of that appointment, and acknowledge some opportunities for stabilizing CCAF in some ways who have been on per course appointments for a long time to work toward the opportunity to turn those into, again, over time, using the tools that we've already had, turn those into 1.0 positions in ways that have not always been available. Again, the code language doesn't do most of that work. Most of that work is already a set of available tools that's already in the faculty manual and already in the language in the code that we're changing. The change around research is maybe the one substantive piece, but our goal as a college is to continue to invest in tenure track faculty hiring. We need to do that. We know that in some ways the amount of contingency around appointments is not our goal, and we want more research. You noticed that the first of our strategic priorities was enhancing the research mission, and so this is not a zero-sum game, or this is not a zero-sum maneuver that has an impact on our tenure track faculty hiring. It's an acknowledgement of the faculty work that's already being done across the college. Yep. You may.
Thanks. I asked, one of the questions I asked you via email was, and I asked Ann Claycomb this as well, there are implications with this construction with regard to how CCAF research is counted towards our Carnegie rankings, and it's not. So there's a question about utility here. With regard to, on the stability side, yes, I get that, but there's a question with regard to the utility of how CCAF faculty research is counted. If it's not, then how is the college going to accommodate that with regard to to those rankings and the interests of TT faculty?
To be fair, none of the research that I do counts towards CCA or toward Carnegie classification. The new classifications are funded research. There's a whole host of other reasons why we do research, which includes informing our classrooms. It includes enriching the culture around us. It includes making the wisdom of our disciplines heard and known. I think a utilitarian piece of the argument is one very small part of why we do the research that we do. That's my discussion, and you may all have a variety of other opinions on that, but it seems to me that there's a whole set of reasons why the research that we do matters beyond our Carnegie classification or our AAU classification. Any other discussion? All right, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Nay. I think the motion moves. Thank you. We will now proceed to the most joyful part of today's event, the award ceremony. I'd like to acknowledge, instead of invite, acknowledge that Rosa Michael Marty, Professor of Journalism and Media Communications, and her glove, and CLA Director of Faculty Retention and Success to the stage. She's already here. Court Fallon is also joining us. She works in the Dean's office and is a PhD student in Communication Studies, and is Bianca also. Bianca maybe is around too. There's Bianca Pizza also joining us. As the convener of the Committee on the Liberal Arts, the group that reviews award nominations for the CLA, I am continually heartened by the great work that I see our faculty and staff doing day in and day out, thumbs up, awarded, or just the things that you do all the time. It is true that we have so much to celebrate about the great work of the college, and it underscores the even more truly high bar that our awardees establish with their work. I want to thank each nominee of any award, now or forever, for the work that you do. Also the nominators for the work that you do in acknowledging and patting on the back your faculty colleagues. And finally, the members of the committee who made these sometimes quite difficult decisions. We'll begin with the Ann Gill Faculty Development Awards. These are granted annually with funding from our Great Conversation Series members. Faculty recipients, as I call your name, will you please come forward to receive a beloved award? First of all, there we go. First of all, Professor Micah Glantz and Associate Teaching Professor Connie Fellman, both from the Department of Anthropology and Geography. Professors Glantz and Fellman, both in biological anthropology, will continue work that re-examines salaciously the place of cannibalism in ancient humans, such as Neanderthals, to answer questions around motivation from ritual to survival that might have prompted this practice. Congratulations and thanks for the good work, Professors Glantz and Fellman. You shake my hand. Next, Professor Nicole Asel and Professor Madeline Jazz Harvey, School of Music, Theater, and Dance. Professor Asel, a professor of vocal performance, and Professor Harvey, a professor of dance, will collaborate to produce the Baby Book Project film, which documents their collaboration, along with piano faculty member Tim Burns, to tell stories of pregnancy, loss, and motherhood through performance. Congratulations, Professor Asel and Professor Harvey. Congratulations. Next, I'd like to invite to the stage Professor Jeff Snodgrass, Department of Anthropology and Geography. This award will make an important contribution to Professor Snodgrass's ongoing work in using both biocultural and ethnographic data to study tabletop role-playing games, thus making my children very, very interested, as they contribute to identity formation and stress resilience, and how they might be developed in culturally and contextually sensitive ways with broad impacts. Congratulations, Professor Snodgrass. Thanks. And Professor John Pippin, School of Music, Theater, and Dance. This award will support Professor Pippin's book project on musical labor, examining how social class shapes contemporary classical music through its social meanings, its production of subjectivities, as well as through its economics and methods of production. Congratulations, Professor Pippin. I am now thrilled to pass the mic back to Dean Thorson, who will do some more thumbs-upping. That's what I got.
I told you. Yeah. I was right, I'm just saying.
Yeah. I was wrong and I didn't write a script for this. However, the Carl A. Bimson Humanities Seminars Award goes to Jessica Jackson and Alexander Pittman in the Department of History. I don't have fancy script language written up, but this award, or this award goes to Professors Jackson and Pittman to support their work to interface with public school teachers and work in history, social studies education with really meaningful impact. And I say that with real sincerity. Congratulations, both of you.
Appreciate the congratulations.
Now some more thumbs upping.
Like, thumbs upping is a whole thing now. Okay. You missed the picture of my thumb. It's back. No worries. Okay. All right. So the next set of thumbs, oh, yeah, no, it's not working. The next set of awards that involve thumbs go to two people who are incredible culture builders in this college. If you are the kind of person who shows up to events, you know who they are because they are everywhere. They know the names of faculty and students and staff. They put in the work across the university to weave people together, to make introductions, to offer words of kindness and support, to make us laugh, to make me laugh. One of you may have given me a bottle of wine at a moment it was very much needed. Not that this is an instrumentally received award, I'm not saying that's why. Plus, they are both amazing at their jobs, and I thank everything there is for both of you. This thumb thing is paying out in ways that I had only could imagined. So it is my honor to introduce our next award giver, Dr. Michelle Stanley, to hand out the next set of awards. And So we all know and love Michelle in her role as CLA Associate Dean for Undergraduate Education, or I'm told that was once her job. As this year, she served until tomorrow, until 5 o'clock today, as interim vice provost for undergraduate affairs. And I don't know if you all know that, but Michelle is also leading the university team that's managing impacts on our academic mission from activities undertaken by the federal government, is how I phrased it. And what you probably can't see is the hours and hours of not just work, but passion and, all the things. She's given all of herself over the last few months to do the very best she can for all of us and for our students at a really difficult time. So thank you. I know we can't always see the work, but we appreciate you, even though it takes you away from us. So, yay for Michelle.
It is really nice to see you, and I really mean that. I am Vice Provost for Undergraduate Affairs until 5 o'clock, and I do have a budget, so you have an hour and 30 minutes. I don't know what it is. Actually, not even. I'm kidding, of course. I think I spent it all. I also want to thank my colleagues in the Dean's office for filling in, stepping up, covering the gaps, doing all the things to keep it running, and I'm grateful for you. I know how hard this year was for all of us, but I'm especially grateful for my team, and especially Ellie Light, who did above and beyond the call of duty. I always look forward to coming home, and this is always home, so I'm excited to see you all again. Maybe not as soon as you think, but we can talk about that over wine. Okay, I am presenting the College of Liberal Arts Awards for Service, Outreach, and State Classified. The first award is this Distinction in Outreach Award in recognition of a member of the college who has enhanced the college standing through unique and sustainable connections with constituencies outside of the university. This year's award goes to, from my home department, Dr. Jess Rushing from the Department of Music in the School of Music, Theater, and Dance. I have a lot to say about you, so hold on. Oh, and I didn't do the thing. Oh, jeez. There we go. Look how nice that picture is. Her work with Upbeats, a therapeutic drumming initiative for female-identifying persons, exemplifies the College of Liberal Arts' fundamental commitment to the well-being of the human community and the inspiration for the human spirit. Upbeats embodies our college's mission in profound and practical ways by creating a safe, supportive space where women facing mental health challenges can experience the transformative power of communal music making. Dr. Rushing has developed a program that nurtures both the individual well-being and community resilience. There's that resilience. The program welcomes those struggling with PTSD, trauma, anxiety, and depression, as well as anyone seeking to explore music as a health resource, directly advancing our commitment to serving the human community in all its complexities and needs. And what makes this particularly special is how entrenched in the community she is. I actually saw you at FOCO MX in the drumming circle, which was really great. And of course, she works at the Festival of the Oval too. So thank you so much for spreading the wealth of knowledge in our community, and congratulations. The Outstanding Service Award is presented by the College of Liberal Arts in recognition of a member of the college who has made outstanding service contributions to a CLA department, college, university, profession, or the community. This year's awardee, and a new friend of mine, I'm happy to say, I've enjoyed spending time with him, is there we go. Tom Dunn from the Department of Communication Studies. Dr. Dunn is in his 13th year at CSU, and his commitment to service is outstanding for numerous reasons, but particularly for its breadth, quality, and impact. His work spans departmental, college, and university-level service commitments, all while having served 92 GTAs and approximately 19,200 undergraduates, I'm exhausted, and 800-plus sections. Dr. Dunn's hallmark achievement in CLA for many has been the coordinator of the Master Teacher Initiative, which he ran from 2019 to 2021, where he programmed, mentored, and led CLA conversations on teaching during nationwide racial justice protests and the COVID-19 pandemic. Dr. Dunn has been an invaluable servant to the university as a whole through numerous commitments across this university. Thank you so much and congratulations. Lastly, I will be presenting the State Classified Award. I've got it, I'm ready. The College of Liberal Arts State Classified Award recognizes outstanding contributions and achievements by state classified employees. This year, the award goes to 2 individuals. The first award goes to Azumi Solbrig from the Department of Communication Studies. Azumi is currently an accounting tech and assistant to the chair in her unit. Azumi conducts her work competently and collegially, enhancing the productivity of the department every day. Her hard work, expertise, and helpfulness permits members of her community to serve our students and positively contributes to CLA and the university overall. Azumi has provided a sense of continuity within the main office and serves as a bridge between faculty, students, and other staff and administrators figures. Department Chair Elizabeth Williams echoed these sentiments, commenting that Azumi is a valued community member in our department. Her work product, interpersonal skills, and ability to analyze and problem solve have helped keep our department moving forward. And as a new chair, I feel so lucky to have her in this role. Thank you so much and congratulations. And lastly, for me, the second award goes to Lauren Tai from the Department of Political Science. Lauren has been with the Department of Political Science just since September of 2022. In less than 2.5 years, she has transformed expectations about the administrative assistant's role in furthering the department's mission and its members' success. She continues to impress everyone with the efficiency with which she performs her tasks while going above and beyond her responsibilities to help students and faculty achieve their full potential. One faculty member states, "Lauren's efficiency, expertise, and skill have directly supported forward to my ability to plan and host a large workshop and feel confident knowing her support and expertise were there. Crucially, her expertise in expedient handling of invoices and responding to caterers, these are very important things, make it so much more easy for me to plan and host the workshop. Congratulations and thank you. Now, please welcome our next presenter, Assistant Dean for Student Success, Dr. Ellie Light.
Hi, everyone. All right, the Excellence in Teaching Award recognizes faculty members who have demonstrated outstanding dedication to their craft, who have made significant positive impacts on their students, and continually strive to improve their teaching methods through professional development and student feedback. In the Continuing Contract and Adjunct Faculty category, the Excellence in Teaching Award goes to Annie Krieg in the Department of Art and Art History. There we go. Now you have to stand here for a minute while I talk nice things about you. Oh. There we go. Dr. Krieg has transformed art history teaching through innovative pedagogy and an unwavering commitment to inclusive learning. Her dedication to professional development, over 100 hours through TILT, has made her a pioneer in student-centered teaching methods. Dr. Krieg doesn't just teach art history, she inspires students to see themselves as capable scholars in a supportive learning environment. Please join me in celebrating Dr. Krieg's outstanding contribution. Okay, let's make sure we're going to the right one here. No.
I actually received a lecture on this really weird clicker before we started, so if you'll pause for a moment. Go back and do Kit.
Okay.
This is the back. This is a really weird clicker.
All right, we're going to skip to Kit. Our next award is Distinction in Curricular Innovation, and it is my honor to present this award to Dr. Kit Hughes from the Department of Communication Studies. Since joining CSU in 2016, Dr. Hughes has infused innovation in both breadth and depth. She's reimagined courses, creating new ones, and her innovations address everything from developing creative solutions to unauthorized AI use to connecting curriculum to students' everyday lives. Dr. Kit is traveling, so I will accept this award on her behalf. Okay. In the tenured faculty category for the Excellence in Teaching Award, this will go to John Slater, Department of Languages, Literatures, and Cultures. In his Spanish literature and cultures courses, Dr. Slater consistently demonstrates remarkable teaching abilities that transform students' learning experiences. He skillfully bridges challenging texts with contemporary relevance, helping students connect with complex materials. His thoughtful design classroom activities foster active participation, respectful dialogue, and meaningful discussion among students. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Slater on this award. Okay, in the tenure track faculty category, the Excellence in Teaching Award goes to Janelle Vieira, Department of Sociology. Dr. Vieira's teaching is infused by curiosity, creativity, and innovation. She excels at drawing out students' full potential and facilitating meaningful sociological discussions among peers. Student evaluations consistently highlight her accessibility and talent for creating a classroom environment that fosters constructive dialogue with one another, ultimately contributing to students' personal development and growth. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Vieira. The College of Liberal Arts Excellence in Undergraduate Mentoring Award recognizes faculty who create engaging, supportive, and inclusive academic environments through exceptional student mentoring. This year's Excellence in Undergraduate Mentorship Award recipient is Madeline Jazz Harvey. Professor Harvey cultivates a learning environment founded on kindness, empathy, and inclusivity, where students consistently describe her as encouraging, kind, and comforting. Under her guidance, students have successfully written grants, presented at national conferences, participated in cross-disciplinary research, and serving underrepresented communities. Please join me in congratulating Madeline Harvey on this award. I would now like to invite Dean Thorson back to the podium for more Thumbs Up awards.
You're already laughing like in advance. I want to let you know that in some way this entire event is just like a prank between me and Stephanie. She put clocks on every single surface up here, and y'all were still 10 minutes late, so I want you to congratulate me on making sure that I foil even her very best efforts. Okay. Our next thumbs up is for someone we all hear from via email every week. If you know her personally or know her work in the classroom or just, read the stuff she sends, you know that Frankie, where are you? Oh, it's a surprise so no one knows. Yay. Okay, wait, it's too soon. Oh, no, it's too late. I spoilered my own reading, sorry. Frankie is a font of teaching innovation. She has served as the college's Master Teacher Initiative Coordinator since the end of 2021, has coordinated professional development events, sent weekly messages, has had like a bazillion new ideas. In fact, she's shared so widely across campus, often by her peers, that when the previous person who's been doing this job for 20 years, she was asked to step in and do the role at the campus level. And we appreciate you profoundly. I learn something from you every single week. And I'm grateful to you. So congratulations. Congratulations and a thumb. I made it weird. Okay. All right. Next time. Okay. All right, this next award is for someone whose vision, ambition, and all-around excellence have really had a chance to shine this year. As many of you know, because I told you like 20 minutes ago, our Institute for Research in the Social Sciences is a true gem in this college. And this award goes to Nicole Franklin. Where are you, Nicole? Nicole is Assistant Director of IRIS and leads a very complex set of business operations. They're doing like $1 million a year in research, sometimes a little bit more. And I remember the first time we met, Nicole outlined for me a set of possibilities for IRIS and beyond for supporting interdisciplinary scholarship that opened my eyes to where we could go. I see you, your ideas are incredible. She is a visionary leader who takes joy in dreaming up big, courageous ideas that reach across disciplines, and somehow has this like strategic mind and these incredible talents and these commitments to collaboration, and weirdly, everybody likes working with her, so. Okay. Thumbs up, kind of choking me up a little tiny bit. So I would now like to introduce Dr. Alyssa Bronstein, our Associate Dean for Research and Graduate Programs. And as I do so, I want to say a word of thanks to Alyssa. Her leadership of this research enterprise in the college is extraordinary. Wait, where are you? Oh, the light is so weird in here. We have bold aspirations, me, you, all of us, and I am so grateful for her partnership in working toward them every day. So welcome, Alyssa, to give away a few more awards.
Good afternoon. So we now turn to CLA's award for excellence in graduate mentorship, which goes to political science professor Brad McDonald. Dr. Brad McDonald is receiving this award for his transformative approach to mentoring that combines kindness, supportiveness, and collaborative guidance. Students consistently praise his ability to foster autonomy, with many crediting him as instrumental to their achievements both during and after graduation. Professor McDonald's mentorship extends beyond his primary advisees to all students, creating intellectual communities and initiatives like department book clubs while maintaining lifelong mentoring relationships with graduates. Please join me in congratulating Brad on this award. Oh, I'm supposed to do this. It's the big green one in the middle. Okay. We now turn to the Graduate Teaching Assistant Excellence in Teaching Award, which goes to Lauren Bisker in Comm Studies. Lauren Bisker exemplifies outstanding graduate teaching through her student-centered, creative approach to pedagogy. She creates inclusive learning environments where students develop agency, as evidenced by her exceptional course evaluations and student testimonials praising her dedication to feedback and mentorship. Please join me in congratulating Lauren on this award. Thank you very much. Congratulations. We now turn to the Outstanding Engaged Scholarship Award, which goes to political science professor Marcela Velasco. Dr. Velasco deserves the Outstanding Engaged Scholarship Award for her sustained participatory research with Indigenous and Afro-Colombian communities in some of Colombia's most violent regions. She spent over 2 decades collaborating with marginalized groups, which has trained over 125 Indigenous, peasant, and Afro-descendant leaders. Her engaged scholarship produces knowledge in accessible forms for communities while contributing to academic understanding of territorial politics, environmental justice, and multicultural reforms. Please join me in congratulating Marcela. Congratulations! Okay, next I'm very excited about announcing this one, the John N. Stern Distinguished Professor Award, which is presented every year to recognize exemplary accomplishments in all aspects of professor responsibilities over an extended period of time. This year, the award goes to political science professor Courtney Dahm. Oh, okay. Thank you. Dr. Dahm, who was also recently appointed the incoming chair for the political science department. Woo! She exemplifies the criteria for this award through her exceptional achievements over her 19-year career at CSU. Her groundbreaking scholarship on law, gender, and LGBTQ rights have profoundly shaped contemporary understanding of social justice, particularly through her recent book on transgender rights and her definitive undergraduate text on gender and law. Dr. Dahm's teaching excellence is reflected in multiple prestigious awards and consistently oversubscribed courses, complemented by extraordinary mentorship that includes chairing 19 undergraduate honors theses. Her extensive service includes co-chairing the CLA Democracy Initiative this year and serving in leadership roles in the American Political Science Association, demonstrating the academic distinction, professional dedication, and commitment to justice that define a truly distinguished professor. Please join me in congratulating Courtney. So now back to Kirsten, who will recognize our last Thumbs Up Award.
Our last thumb, final thumb. One more thumb. Oh, that's still Courtney. There it is. Yeah, there's the thumb again. Okay. So I have one more thumb. This is the easiest thumb to give in the world. I've titled it the All Around Awesome Award. I actually didn't write anything for this because I have too many feelings, but nothing happens in this place without Colleen. None of you would have tenure. You would not receive an annual review, or at least not one the provost knew about. Dozens of you come to her for consultation and for wisdom. She has a grace under pressure that, by the way, some of you provide. I see you as well. And a way of managing us all that is absolutely the heart of this college and most of its brains. Too many feelings. So congratulations. I feel like let's clap again because Colleen's amazing. Okay, we are now going to release Rosa and her glove. However, this is a little bit of, we don't have a slide because this is late breaking news. Rosa has a Fulbright. She's going to Norway to do some really cool research and hopefully to eat some weird, cool things and have millions of adventures. So congratulations to you. This is late breaking news, so we're sneaking it in without a slide, and thank you for the glove and all of the other things. Okay, last but not least, I am thrilled to briefly, Stephanie, recognize recipients of university awards and some of our major external awards this year. So I'm going to call your name and describe the award, and I invite you to join us up on stage and stay here so you can show the oomph of size of how many of you there are. And once you're all gathered up here, we'll pause for a group photo. First, the Montfort Professorship, which is kind of a big deal, y'all, was awarded to Dr. Colin Rice in philosophy. The Montfort Professorship are intended for early career faculty members who are rising stars, which Dr. Rice absolutely is, who show potential to make a significant impact on CSU through their scholarship. Dr. Rice is an internationally respected philosopher of science who does, I'm shortening this as we go, folks, who does really cool stuff. He will use his professorship funds to support his completion of a book, and a bazillion other things. He will be unstoppable, I am confident, and he will use his funds also to organize public-facing events through the Center for Engaged Humanities, where students and speakers from a variety of disciplines can discuss and practice science communication strategies. Congratulations. No, you have to stay. I'm not sure we've got time to clap twice, but I appreciate the enthusiasm. Okay, next. The Oliver P. Pennock Distinguished Service Award goes to Kari Anderson. These Distinguished Service Awards recognize meritorious and outstanding achievement over a 5-year period. Oh, this is very technical. Really, this is awarded to people who do truly extraordinary work, and it was established as a tribute to Professor Pennock, who served as a distinguished professor of civil engineering in the things you learn here on stage in the 1920s. Congratulations. Okay, this is a multi one. The Office of the Vice President Interdisciplinary Scholarship Award is awarded to a team from languages, literatures, and cultures. Congratulations to you all. This award is given annually to a team whose interdisciplinary scholarship has had a major impact nationally or internationally, or have demonstrated their potential to do so. This team, comprised of Dr. Alicia Miller-Durute, Shannon Zeller, Dr. Maite Correa, Nisa Narvek, and Edward Sarasti, and Dr. Mora Velasquez Castillo, yeah, you guys are epic right up here, will use the money to support their groundbreaking work with Spanish language in healthcare settings. This is really incredible work. Congratulations. Oh, I was still going. Okay, that's fine. They have a book under contract with Rutledge in which they leverage their expertise toward the development and implementation of evidence-based curricula that prepares students to effectively communicate with Spanish-dominant speakers in different professional fields. Congratulations. Don't clap again. Okay, the 2025 Best Teacher Awards go to Steve Weiss in JMC and Mira Fa in Communication Studies. Congratulations. I know Steve is teaching and not here. Mira was running to get here, so okay. Let's watch out, and when she comes in, let's clap and make it kind of weird. Let's just that's our secret plan. Congratulations to them. Woohoo! Okay. Next are our Administrative Professional Awards, which beautifully deservedly go to Stephanie Nielsen and Rosanna Bateman. Stephanie is receiving the AP Star Award, and Rosanna is receiving the Distinguished Administrative Professional Award. You guys may have to layer. Colin's going off the edge, and we can't afford for that to happen. All right, next, the Provost Teaching Scholar Award goes to Dr. Jessica Jackson from History. Woo! This award recognizes notable teaching and learning impact represented by innovative teaching, course design, curriculum, or other accomplishments that enhance student success. Congratulations to you. Oh my goodness. Okay. This just happened, Andrew, yesterday? But there it is. CSU Online's annual Outstanding Distant Educator Award was given to Dr. Andrew Goldsmith, director of our sport management program. Andrew, are you here? Woo! I'm about to call up our next awardee, who is going to face the challenge of dealing with this line of people and either fall off the edge of the stage. All right, okay. So, congratulations to Ella Bowers, who received the Region 10 Excellence in Advising Award from the National Academic Advising Association. Congratulations. In addition, my congratulations to Matthew Cooperman, where are you, who just received a Guggenheim Fellowship. Which is kind of a big deal. I'm just going to let you sit with that for a second. These prestigious fellowships support exceptional individuals in pursuit of scholarship in any field of knowledge and creation in any art form under the freest possible conditions. I don't know how you prove the freedom part, but well done. Y'all, this is the third CSU poet to be awarded a Guggenheim. 3 all at once in one place. I'm pretty sure that's unheard of. I don't know, but is there anyone to testify to that one way or another? That's pretty incredible. Joining Camille Dungy and Dan Beachy-Quick. He plans to use the funding to complete his latest book, Time and Its Monument. I would also like to congratulate Ramona Osabel. Oops. Oh. I've skipped, I didn't do okay. Ramona won the Science and Literature Award, which is given by the National Book Foundation, the same organization that awards the National Book Awards. Ramona is receiving this award for her 2023 novel, The Last Animal, which I can tell you is really freaking good. So sorry kids, that was pretty well censored, but congratulations to you as well. So, Nicole, could you explain to them how to do a picture kind of, look at the squishes. They're all big accomplishments. Congratulations to all of you, and thank you for your incredible work. Oh, I'm so on time, Stephanie. All right, this is the end. I have but a few closing remarks. You do have time to get another drink, and it will not hurt anyone's feelings if you go up and do so. We have a few more minutes here at the end to mingle. So in closing, I want to say, first of all, thank you to all of you for coming and for being here. It really means a lot to have this opportunity to recognize one another. I want to say especially thank you to Stephanie. Let's clap again. Both for doing the work and for putting up with me. Colleen, Beth Eder, Nicole McMurray, the entire team here at the LSC, Bianca, Court, all of our co-presenters, to Ann Claycomb, who's our Director of Faculty Recognitions, without whom you would not win awards, the awards committees, the nominators. It is a lot of work, and you are incredibly gracious to do it. So thank you to everyone who helped make this event possible. This has been a tumultuous first year as dean and a really remarkably challenging semester for us all. We are in the last couple of weeks of the semester, and I see you all. There's a lot going on, and I want to thank every single one of you for the work that you put in for your students, for your colleagues, and the way that you support one another. Thank you for being here. Thank you for everything you do, and if I don't see you, please get some rest over the summer. Have a good day.